To make absolutely certain your Merillat Cabinetry beautifully stands up to all of this, we put it through this. This is a behind-the-scenes look at the rigorous testing that goes into consistently building durable Merillat Cabinetry. Our manufacturing facilities have earned the Kitchen Cabinet Manufacturers Association, or KCMA, Environmental Stewardship Certification. They've also earned the International Standardization Organization's 14001 for environmental management systems. To learn more about our commitment to doing what's right for the environment and society, visit tomorrowsthinkingtoday.com. Plus, Merillat cabinets earn the KCMA Seal of Approval for performance and construction. To earn the KCMA Seal of Approval, cabinets go through 13 different types of KCMA tests. We go beyond KCMA standards by testing cabinets at our own facility. Here are some of our tests. Ultraviolet chamber. An ultraviolet light chamber simulates real-world sun exposure at an accelerated rate. The chamber exposes the door and other parts to the equivalent of 400 hours of direct sunlight at noon, the time at which UV rays are the strongest. No matter how much or how little sunlight your kitchen cabinets are exposed to, all wood cabinetry will change over time due to the natural characteristics of wood. This test determines if the color change is within reasonable expectation and to specification. Environmental chambers. There are two types of KCMA tests conducted in our environmental chamber. The hot and cold test subjects the door to 5 cycles. At Merillat, each cycle starts at 160 degrees, drops to room temperature, then dips to a chilling 10 degrees below zero. KCMA only requires each cycle to start at 120 degrees with a drop to room temperature and then 5 degrees below zero. We also conduct a shrinkage and heat test. Doors endure 160 degrees of heat at 70% humidity for 24 hours, which is greater than the KCMA requirement of only 120 degrees. Static load test. The static load test pushes our wall cabinets to the limit by measuring the pounds of force needed to pull the cabinet from the wall. The load gradually increases over 25 to 30 minutes, and the test is complete when it reaches 1,800 pounds of force or failure. That's over 3 times the KCMA testing specs of 500 pounds of force. Door hinge cycle test and drawer guide cycle test. Our door hinges are rigorously tested. The KCMA requires door hinges go through 25,000 open and close cycles. The Builder Hardware Manufacturers Association, or BHMA, requires only 35,000 cycles minimum. We put ours through 80,000 or failure. That's 55,000 cycles more than KCMA. During the drawer guide cycle test, a mechanical arm repeatedly opens and closes drawers. The KCMA requires a drawer guide meet 25,000 open and close cycles without failure of the guide and roller. Merillat cabinet drawers are cycle tested up to 100,000 open and close cycles or until failure. That's 75,000 cycles more than KCMA. While tested, the drawer is loaded with 70 pounds of weight. This simulates the extreme end of the range of the amount of weight a typical drawer could hold. In the hinge rack and set test, 65 pounds of weight is applied to a door from the center of the hinges. The door is cycled 10 times and remains in place for 10 minutes after. The weight is then removed and the tester waits 10 additional minutes before checking to see if the hinges are still working properly. Impact resistance. The drop test uses a 3-pound steel ball that's about the size and weight of a canned good or kitchen utensil. The ball is dropped onto a cabinet shelf, drawer bottom, or cabinet bottom. Cabinets pass only if there is no substantial damage, everything retains its original position, and the drawer remains fully functional. Chemical resistance. The KCMA requires the cabinet finishes stand up to 10 common household chemicals and food products. We test 48 common household chemicals and food products. That's 38 more than KCMA requires. Droplets of chemicals and liquids are placed on the cabinet component. 24 hours later, the droplets are wiped away and technicians conduct a thorough visual inspection of the surface, looking carefully for surface contamination and finish discoloration. Our finishes consistently pass because our seal coat, finish, and top coat are all applied in a controlled environment. Moisture resistance test. During the moisture resistance test, a moistened sponge with detergent is placed on a door and drawer front. 24 hours later, technicians remove the sponge and inspect for moisture seepage. The Crosshatched Test checks for finish adhesion to the wood surface. A calibrated tool with 11 blades is run over the surface in 2 opposite directions. This creates a crosshatch pattern with 100 small squares. Then, tape is applied over the area and peeled back to see if the finish is removed. Because Merillat Cabinetry is able to withstand these grueling, punishing tests, you can rest assured that your cabinetry will look beautiful and perform perfectly year after year. So when you're shopping for a home, look for the KCMA seal of approval and the Merillat logo. And ask for Merillat Essentials, Merillat Classic, or Merillat Masterpiece. Merillat. Ready for real life. Find out what Kitchen IQ can equal for your life.